guys, what's up? It's Audra and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So I feel like we've been throwing it back to the beginning of my channel recently with like the kinds of videos I've been doing. So you know what, we're gonna stick with it. We're gonna keep doing some videos that I would have done at the beginning of my YouTube channel career. And I used to just talk about things that I liked. And that was fun, so I'm gonna keep doing it. I know that you guys think that I sing all the time and that's it, but I do have other hobbies sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes. So as soon as I hit summer, basically I get really into two things. I get really into running and I get really into reading. And running, I don't really know what I'm supposed to do with that on this YouTube channel, so we're not gonna do anything with it. But reading, I can work with. So in case you guys didn't know, I used to be smart. Not anymore. I haven't been to school in a long time, but I used to be. And I used to really enjoy, this is weird, doing my summer reading, like projects for school. And I used to have like a notebook and I would schedule out, like I used to have to read 3 books for school in the summer. And literally I would sit down and make a schedule of how many chapters I needed to read every single day so that I could be done and not have to worry about it. And then I would like take notes on all the chapters, whatever. And as soon as summer hits, I get the itch. I get the itch to just read. So I recently went to Barnes & Noble and I bought a ton of books, and I've read a few of them and some of them I'm going to read. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you what I've been reading and what I plan on reading this summer. Okay, first we're gonna start out with what I have read so far. So a few weeks ago, my grandma gave me this book, because she has like a monthly like book subscription where she gets sent like 3 books or something, 2 books, I don't know, per month, and she reads them. And she read this one and she was like, Audra, this is super weird, like I don't understand what's going on, like read this book. And I was like, okay. So this is the first book I read. It's called Follow Me to the Ground, and it's by Sue Rainsford. Yeah, it's a weird book, I'm not gonna lie. Basically, it's about like these 2 people who can heal illness through like the ground, and they like bury people in the ground. I mean, it was cool, but also it was just very weird, like the way the book started. Like they never really explained anything about the people or like how it works or what they do. They just kind of like jumped into it, and I was like, whoa, take a step back, how did we get here? And there was no like pre-plot, like it didn't explain what happened and why it happened. And yeah, it was weird, it was slightly confusing, but I mean it was interesting, but it's not something I would normally pick up to read. But it was good, like I'm glad I read it, but I was just like, this is not what I was expecting. So this is the first book I read. I read this while I was on vacation actually, and then finished it up when I came back. So it was good. I don't know if I'd say I'd recommend it, but it was very interesting to say the least. Okay, next I read a book that Haley gave me. She was over here a few weeks ago and she was reading this book, and she read the entire thing in one night. So I was like, well, I guess I have to read it. It's Colleen Hoover book, so the whole entire internet is obsessed with her right now. And it's called Verity. It was really good. This is my favorite book I've read in like a really long time. To give you some context on the books I enjoy reading, I hate reading very like intense, you know, like actual like school summer reading-esque books with like hidden meanings in the plot and nothing makes sense to me. I just can't do it. Now that I'm out of school, I don't care anymore, so I literally just read books that I think are fun and that I enjoy, and that's it. These are not like the best books in the world, but they're just fun and they keep me entertained, so that's what we're going off of right now. But this book's called Verity. It was, honestly, it had kind of like a horror element to it, and I kind of like that. It's almost like a psychological thriller book, and it was really good. That's like my kind of stuff, because that's like what I watch on TV too. Like I like to watch like psychological thrillers or like documentaries and stuff like that, and this was like very similar to that, which I thought was super cool. I was like, wow, like this is a pretty good book. This one was very interesting, and it's about like this author who gets asked to write for another author who's like unable to finish her series, Verity, and then like a bunch of crazy things happen and whatever. Anyways, it was really good, and I do highly recommend reading this book. Next up, this one I'm in the middle of right now. I have this much, this is where I'm at. I have this much left. So I'm almost done with it. But last year, or maybe while I was on tour or something, I don't know, I read the book It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover also. And this is like the, every ending has beginning. So this is the It Starts With Us. And it's kind of like a prequel and also what happens after. They talk about like the main character's life before the last book and then like what happens after, and it's really good. I really liked It Ends With Us, and now they're making a movie about that with like Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni, I think. So I'm very interested to see that as well. But this book is super good. Like I said, I haven't gotten all the way through it, but it's very entertaining, and I definitely, this is one of those books where like she's really good. Colleen Hoover's really good at making you kind of like fall in love with like the characters of the book and the story, and I'm very like drawn to just like reading chapter after chapter after chapter, and I can like fly through her books like really, really quick. So these ones are really, really fun to read, and yeah, keep me very entertained. It's like, I mean, these ones are, it makes sense why they're making it into a movie. They're very just easy to adapt into something like that because she's very much like a storyteller, and it's very good. Okay, now we're gonna get into the books that I want to read this summer. So quite a while ago, I pre-ordered this book, and I haven't had a chance to read it yet, so I'm definitely going to take the opportunity this summer to read it. And it is called Part of My World. It's by Jodi Benson. It says, what I've learned from The Little Mermaid about love, faith, and finding my voice. And it kind of takes you on the journey of her life, of like how she started, how she ended up being Ariel, how she got cast, and then like kind of what happened to her life after that. So I'm very interested to read this. I love Jodi Benson. She's always been one of my favorite vocalists. I actually got to see her sing live at Disney once, which was very exciting. And I just really like to read the stories about these people who I've like looked up to for so long. So, and obviously it's like about singing, and it's about like Disney, like what the heck, what other things am I gonna read? So this is probably next on my list of things, and it's a little different from all of the other books that I'm reading, so I'm very excited for this one. Okay, next up we have this book, which really, the last two just kind of caught my eye in Barnes & Noble. They were just like on the shelf of like things you should read, and they were about to get one 50% off, so I was like, why not, I'll get two. So this one apparently is a Netflix series. I've never heard of it. It's called Anxious People. And I have no clue really what's it about. I think it's like a mystery. It says looking at real estate isn't usually a life or death situation, but an apartment open house becomes just that when a failed bank robber bursts in and takes a group of strangers hostage. So sounds interesting. Sounds like an episode of Criminal Minds, so I'm down with it. But yeah, apparently it's a Netflix show. I've never watched it. I really liked the title, Anxious People. That really caught my eye, so I bought it, and this is also one of the books I plan on reading this summer. I don't know what it is about books. I just like holding them and like looking at them. I don't know, it makes me feel like scholarly. So this is probably another one on the list for this summer. Last but not least, we have this book called In 5 Years. I'm not gonna lie to you, these last two just caught my eye because of the names and like the covers of the book. Like, bro, if you got a good book cover, I'm picking it up. That's all I gotta say. And an interesting title, I'm picking it up. It's just like a YouTube title. Like, if you got an interesting title, I'm gonna click on it. I'm gonna look at it. So that's why I picked this up. It's called In 5 Years, and the back of it says, Dani Cohen lives her life by the numbers. She's nothing like her lifelong best friend, the wild whimsical believes in fake Bella. Dani's meticulous planning seems to have paid off after she nails the most important job interview of her career and accepts her boyfriend's marriage proposal in one fell swoop, falling asleep completely content. And then she like wakes up and she's in a different apartment, different ring, beside a very different man. And then she spends exactly 1 hour, 5 years in the future. And I was like, whoa, that's so interesting. That's gonna be really cool to read. Because I always wondered what that would be like, to see like your future self. It's like Back to the Future. So this is the next one I'm gonna read. And this is from the Good Morning America book club. So I try and pick ones that are like relevant in like the social media world right now, because I kind of like to stay up to date on those things. So if it's like a Netflix series or like picked from like a book club from the internet, like I'm gonna read that over other ones, over what my high school teacher recommended me. So this is the last one. Those are all the books that I have read / plan on reading this summer, and that's kind of hefty for me because I don't have that much time, but I do like to try and squeeze it in when I can. So if you guys have any recommendations or books that you've been liking or reading, let me know. I'd love to hear. But that is what I've been up to. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, make sure you leave a like, leave a comment, recommend me what to read. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And also, if you haven't, make sure to turn on that notification bell so you don't miss an upload every Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Bye! See you next week.